Bob Schron, the Citizen. Dwyane, Jimmy hit the three at the end of the third quarter, and the game changed at the end, at the fourth quarter. Robin said that there were details that weren't attended to. What happened? How did you see the last quarter?
I mean, I can't speak to the details yet. I mean, obviously, need to go watch the film to know exactly what happened. But I mean, looking at the box score, they scored 29 to our 16, so they executed better. They made more shots. They got to the foul line as well. Got some M1s. So when you're in a series like this, small details are very important. And I'm sure it's a few things that they continue. This is a team that continues to run their offense, and I'm sure they got some things on us that we didn't want to give up late in the fourth. They always come back to something. So they ran it early, didn't work. They'll come back to it later, and and still get you on it. So I'm sure it was something similar to that.
Dwyane, Vince Goodwill, CS in Chicago. A couple of your teammates have said that you've told them that there would be a game like this where things don't go in your way as far as the officiating and the momentum and everything else. Is this kind of how you expected it to come out, with maybe you guys losing a little bit of composure during that stretch? And how do you think you guys fared in that? Well,
I've definitely been a 1 seed before, playing against an 8 seed, and I understand what it means, especially on the road. Just letting these guys know, and a lot of guys' first time in this, that it's going to be a game where we're not going to get a call, to our liking. Not saying we didn't get a call, but to our liking. Home team going to get a little bit more cooking than you. And the emotions run high in the game, So, unfortunately, we got a few texts at the end, but emotions run high, man. I'd rather see that than see nothing. It shows that people care. So. I'm fine with everything that happened. I thought we played very well, on the road, amidst all of that, for about 44 to 48 minutes. It's just about figuring out those 4 minutes, that span of how to be better, and going and look at the film and watching and see. So, we're in a good place. Is this weird because we run the first 2 here and they came and won the next 2? But we right exactly how it should be. 3-2 going to Game 6 in Chicago, and it's up to us to win the ball game and bring it back here.
Dwyane, Nick Friedel, ESPN. You've been Jimmy's biggest supporter all season. He took just 2 shots in the fourth. What do you think you guys have to do as a group to get him rolling, especially late in games here going into Friday?
I mean, we run a lot to Jimmy, so it's not about the shot selection. Obviously, if he wasn't shooting, it's because he didn't want to shoot. We put the ball in his hand a lot. But I'm sure he'll see a few things. We'll see a few things. But at the same time, and they're keying on him. And he made the right plays. And guys got open shots, and that's all you can do. So he did what he's supposed to do.
Sam Smith, Bulls.com. You've been in this situation many times before. One game from elimination. You mentioned young players. 2 things. First, what do you tell them, or do you tell them anything about this kind of environment and atmosphere and situation? And 2, did you find something today in your game that enabled you to do what you did?
Well, to answer the first question, you can't think about one game from elimination. Only thing you can do is focus on what you can control. You can go and watch the film and control, how to play your minutes better, how to be better, in your minutes, how to help your team, how to give your all the next outing. Like I said, we're going back home where we lost the last 2. How to give your all in that. Just focus on the game. Focus on the game at hand. Don't focus on it being an elimination possible game for them. That does nothing for you. And for me today, I thought, for the first time, this is the first game where I really ran point guard, tonight for, majority of the time of my 34 minutes that I was out there. And I just was going to be aggressive, whether I was going to get turnovers, whether I was going to shoot the ball, whether I was going to pass the ball. I just had an aggressive mindset, and that's the way I have to be. We're down our point guard that's going to set everybody up. So, my best form of me is to be able to be aggressive, and I was able to do that tonight, and to try to give us an opportunity, try to give guys open shots and be aggressive at the same time on the offensive end for myself. So, I try to do the same thing in Game 6.
Dwyane, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. You guys outshot them pretty much from start to finish, and even at the end of the game, it was about 52% to 43%. Why do you think you guys were unable to pull away at any point and build a substantial lead?
Well, turnovers. We had 10 more turnovers than them, and offensive rebounds. Especially in the first half. I think they had at the time. I think it was 11 to 2 second chance points. I don't know what the game ended up. But things like that hurt you. You play hard. You play great defensively, and they get second chances. I thought we did a good job offensively. Like I said, I thought our energy was great, but it's the playoffs, man. Them guys want it, and you can see a few rebounds, in this series where they've came from the 3-point line and they've taken it from us, and it has to mean more, to all of us. And we all, me, being the first one has let it happen. And we all got to do a better job of just understanding, in this moment, value the ball a lot more. And it has to be, now that I'm the point guard, it has to be led by me. I had, a couple of bad, I had 4 turnovers, but I had a few bad ones in a row that led to some points for them. So, we just got to be better.
Dwyane, Vince Gill, CS in Chicago. Not asking you to speak for Jimmy, but it certainly appears that physically he's slowed down in the past game and a half, maybe a knee or something like that. You've played with ailments through your career. Have you talked to him about how to play through it, how to manage his body to get through this playoff series?
We've talked about it. He's I think when you have any limitations, no matter what, at this time of the year, a lot of people are banged up. It's expected. But we have to do a better job of putting them in different places on the basketball floor. And I don't know exactly, what he's going through or what he's feeling, but it's tough that when you are and you're trying to beat a guy from half court to the rim and trying to beat 3 defenders. So we got to do a better job of finding different areas to allow him to work without having to work so hard. And that's on all of us. We would, like I said, we would sit down, we'll go over the film together, we'll look and see. Especially me being, at the top with the ball, to try to find a way to get him, better shots, easier shots, without having to beat, 3 defenders all the time. But he's a tough guy. He'll be fine. It's just you rest, get treatment, and get ready and go on Friday.
Jared Weiss, CLNS Radio. Following up on that, what was the challenge that Avery Bradley presented for you guys tonight on defense, and especially just their ability to switch with him guarding you or Jimmy?
Well, everyone knows he's a good on-ball defender. He's a good defender. So, he's guarded both of us throughout this series. But tonight, he got his offensive game going, and so you expect him, obviously to do what he does defensively. But we gave up 24 points to him tonight, and then it's tough to overcome because you already got Isaiah who's going to get 20. And tonight Al got 20, so we gave up 20 plus to 3 guys. So he hurt us offensively tonight more than anything. But defensively he's one of the better defenders in the league, in the game. But we can't allow him to get 20 plus. It's going to be hard to overcome that, especially being down a man. So gotta do better. Thank you, guys.